What if some of the cheapest farmhouses in America aren't sitting abandoned because they're bad deals, but because almost nobody is looking at them? Imagine finding a move-in-ready brick home on several acres of land in Texas. A place with room for gardens, animals, workshops, and complete privacy. Now imagine that home sitting on the market month after month without a single buyer. How is that possible in the fastest-growing state in America? Today, we'll uncover 10 surprisingly affordable Texas farmhouses with acreage that remain unsold in 2026. Some come with restored historic charm. Others offer enough land to build an entire homestead, and one of them costs less than many new pickup trucks. As we count down from the highest-priced property to the most unbelievable bargain on the list, you'll discover not only what makes these homes special, but also the hidden reasons nobody is buying them. And trust me, by the time we reach number 1, you may start questioning everything you thought you knew about the Texas housing market. For years, Texas has been one of America's biggest population magnets. New residents have poured into the state, seeking lower taxes, job opportunities, and a better quality of life. Cities like Dallas, Houston, Austin, and San Antonio have experienced tremendous growth, pushing housing prices higher and higher. But beyond the booming suburbs lies a very different Texas. Just an hour or two away from the major metropolitan areas, a surprising collection of farmhouses, ranch homes, and country properties sits quietly on the market. Many offer multiple acres of land. Some have been beautifully maintained. Others present incredible opportunities for buyers willing to put in a little work. Yet, despite their affordability, they remain unsold. In this video, we'll explore 10 real properties scattered across the Lone Star State. Along the way, we'll examine their features, their locations, and the market realities keeping buyers away. Let's begin our countdown with a historic farmhouse hidden deep in the pine forests of northeast Texas. The countdown begins in the far northeastern corner of Texas, where dense pine forests, quiet highways, and small timber communities shape the landscape. Outside the tiny community of Douglasville stands a farmhouse that has survived for more than 8 decades. Built in 1940, this is not the kind of aging property that appears ready to collapse under the weight of its own history. Instead, it looks remarkably solid, carefully maintained, and prepared for another generation of country living. The home sits on approximately 16.84 acres, making it one of the largest properties featured on this list. From the road, the first detail that stands out is the exterior siding. The house is wrapped in original cypress wood, a material long valued in the South because of its natural resistance to moisture, insects, and decay. That old wood has protected the home for decades beneath the shade of mature East Texas trees. A wide covered porch stretches across the front of the house, creating a quiet place for morning coffee or evening conversations. At the rear, another covered porch includes a swing overlooking the land. It is the kind of setting where the silence becomes part of the property's value. Inside, the historic character continues. Original hardwood floors run through a spacious living room centered around a wood-burning fireplace. A broad wall of windows brings in natural light and offers views of the surrounding acreage. During winter, the room provides the classic image of rural life: a warm fire, tall trees outside, and no nearby traffic to disturb the peace. Graceful arched doorways lead into a formal dining room large enough for family gatherings and holiday meals. Beside, it is a generously sized kitchen, with extensive cabinet storage and room for practical updates without completely changing the home's original character. The house offers 3 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. The primary bedroom includes its own private bathroom, while the second bathroom serves the remaining bedrooms and guests. Altogether, the home provides just over 2,050 square feet of living space. That size alone is notable, but the most important improvements are the ones buyers cannot immediately see. The plumbing has already been updated. The electrical wiring has also been modernized. A new water heater has been installed. The interior has received fresh paint, and the property even includes an outdoor sprinkler system. These improvements matter because older rural homes can become extremely expensive when outdated plumbing, unsafe wiring, or failing mechanical systems are discovered after the sale. In this case, much of that difficult and costly work has already been completed. Outside, the 16.84 acres are partially fenced and provide enough space for many possible uses. A buyer could establish a large garden, keep animals, build additional storage, or simply preserve the land as a private wooded retreat. The property also includes covered parking for 2 vehicles and extra storage space. Douglasville itself is extremely small, with fewer than 200 residents. It is surrounded by pine forest and has the quiet atmosphere many rural buyers claim to want. However, living there does not mean being completely isolated. Atlanta, Texas, is roughly 10 minutes away and provides grocery stores, pharmacies, restaurants, and essential services. Texarkana is farther north and offers larger retailers, medical facilities, and additional employment opportunities. The property is also located near Wright-Patman Lake, a reservoir covering roughly 20,000 acres. The lake is known for fishing, boating, camping, and peaceful weekends away from crowded cities. On paper, this property seems to offer almost everything a country home buyer could request. Historic character, significant acreage, updated systems, privacy, and reasonable access to nearby towns. So why is it still available? The answer may be hidden in the difference between the asking price and the estimated market value. According to the listing information referenced in the original presentation, Zillow estimated the property's value at approximately $137,700. The asking price, however, was $300,000. That gap creates a major obstacle. Even when a buyer believes the home is worth the asking price, a lender may rely heavily on the appraisal and comparable sales in the surrounding area. If the property appraises far below the contract price, the bank may refuse to finance the full amount. The buyer must then provide a much larger down payment, renegotiate the price, or walk away. That may explain why a restored farmhouse on almost 17 acres can remain unsold despite its many attractive features. The asking price is $300,000, and at that price, the property continues to wait. But the next home costs considerably less. It offers a solid brick exterior, more than 6 acres, and a possible business space already standing on the property. The ninth property takes us south into Rusk County, near Henderson, Texas. This is the brick home introduced at the beginning of the story. At the time described in the listing, it had already spent approximately 88 days on the market. The seller had reduced the asking price by $15,100. Yet buyers still had not stepped forward. Unlike the historic farmhouse in Douglasville, this property does not rely on antique details or architectural nostalgia. Its appeal comes from practicality and potential. The home was built in 1980 and sits on approximately 6.06 acres of open country. It is positioned between Kilgore and Longview, giving residents access to several East Texas communities without placing the home directly inside a busy urban area. The surrounding district is also described as desirable, particularly for families concerned about local schools. The house itself has a traditional brick exterior, a material valued for durability and relatively low maintenance. Inside, the floor plan includes a large living room, a spacious kitchen, and a dining area positioned close to the home's fireplace. This arrangement creates a comfortable shared space where meals, family conversations, and winter evenings can happen in one central area. The home contains 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, an unusual advantage for a house of this size. With approximately 1,651 square feet of living space, it is not enormous, but the layout gives each resident or guest more privacy than many similarly priced rural homes. The listing acknowledges that the interior could benefit from cosmetic updates. Some finishes may feel dated, and a new owner may want to replace flooring, repaint rooms, or modernize parts of the kitchen. However, dated does not necessarily mean damaged. The structure appears to offer a functional foundation for renovation, allowing a buyer to improve the home gradually, rather than immediately taking on a complete reconstruction. The property also includes a separate building that was previously used for takeaway food orders. That small structure could become one of the most valuable features on the land. A future owner might convert it into a private office, a workshop, a studio, a roadside retail space, or the beginning of a small family business. Because the building has already served a commercial purpose, it may require less work than starting from an empty shed, although any future use would still depend on local regulations and permits. Near the oversized carport, the property also includes an attached smoker. With thoughtful improvements, this area could become an outdoor kitchen or entertainment space. For a buyer interested in barbecue, family gatherings, or a home-based food business, the existing setup creates possibilities that most residential listings do not offer. Another surprising advantage is the reported annual property tax. The original listing placed it at only $842 per year. That figure is unusually low compared with many suburban properties, especially in a state where property taxes can become a major part of a homeowner's annual expenses. Henderson is the county seat of Rusk County and has a population of roughly 13,000 people. It is not a major city, but it offers schools, government services, local businesses, restaurants, and employment connected to public institutions. Jobs in the area are supported by schools, law enforcement, government offices, and correctional facilities. Like many small communities, Henderson also has challenges. The original presentation notes that the city's crime rate has been higher than the national average in recent years. Prospective buyers would need to research the exact location carefully, rather than relying only on citywide statistics. This particular property, however, sits outside the center of town on more than 6 acres. So conditions around the home may differ significantly from conditions in more populated neighborhoods. Transportation is another important consideration. A vehicle is essential for most daily activities. Public transportation is limited, and rural distances can make even simple errands time-consuming. Still, the property is well positioned for the region. Kilgore and Longview are accessible by road and provide shopping, medical care, restaurants, and employment. Tyler, one of the nearest larger cities, is approximately 34 miles away. Tyler also offers a regional airport with commercial connections through the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This gives the home a useful balance. It provides the space and quiet of country living while keeping several East Texas cities within driving distance. So why has it remained unsold? The most likely explanation is not the house itself. It is the monthly payment. A buyer comparing this home with prices from 2021 may see an affordable asking price. But when higher mortgage rates are added, the monthly cost can increase by several $100s. That difference changes what buyers can qualify for and what they feel comfortable paying. A household that could easily afford the property several years ago may now discover that the payment exceeds its budget, even after the seller reduced the price. The property was listed at $264,900 after a price reduction of $15,100. Yet, after approximately 88 days, it was still waiting for the right buyer. The next property offers nearly twice as much land for an even lower price. It also includes one feature that can make an enormous difference during an East Texas winter storm: a generator capable of powering the entire house. As our countdown continues, we return to Northeast Texas, where another surprisingly affordable country property sits quietly on the market. This time, the location is near Hughes Springs, a small community positioned between Cass and Morris counties. At first glance, the property appears to offer something many rural buyers spend years searching for: usable acreage, a move-in-ready home, and enough space to create almost any lifestyle they can imagine. The land measures approximately 10 acres. That alone immediately sets it apart from many homes in suburban America, where buyers often pay more money for a fraction of the space. The house itself was built in 1972 and features a traditional brick exterior surrounded by open countryside. Portions of the property are already fenced, making it easier for future owners to accommodate livestock, pets, or agricultural projects. But what truly makes this property stand out is a feature rarely discussed until disaster strikes: a whole house propane generator for people who have never lived in rural Texas. That may not sound especially exciting. However, longtime residents understand its value immediately. Severe thunderstorms, high winds, and occasional winter storms can interrupt electrical service for hours or even days. When that happens, homes dependent entirely on the power grid become uncomfortable very quickly. This property was designed with resilience in mind. The heating system operates on gas. The water heater runs on gas. And thanks to the backup generator, critical systems can continue functioning even when neighboring properties lose power. For many rural homeowners, that level of reliability provides peace of mind that cannot easily be measured in dollars. Inside, the house offers approximately 1,772 square feet of living space, with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The floor plan emphasizes openness and functionality. The kitchen flows directly into the primary living area, creating a comfortable space for family gatherings and entertaining guests. Updated lighting fixtures and a distinctive tile bar add character without overwhelming the home's practical design. The primary suite serves as one of the property's strongest selling points. Its oversized walk-in closet includes built-in cabinetry and storage solutions rarely found in homes at this price point. The attached bathroom has been modernized with an attractive tile shower, updated fixtures, floating shelves, and contemporary finishes. The secondary bathroom has received similar improvements, giving the home a more updated appearance than many rural properties built during the same era. Outside, the covered rear porch overlooks the full 10 acres. The open space creates endless possibilities. A future owner could construct a workshop, add a swimming pool, establish a garden, build guest accommodations, or simply enjoy the privacy that comes with owning substantial acreage. The annual property tax is particularly noteworthy. According to the listing information, taxes total only $717 per year. For buyers relocating from higher tax regions, that figure can seem almost unbelievable. The town of Hughes Springs itself has a population of roughly 1,500 residents. While small, it provides essential services including schools, a pharmacy, grocery shopping, and local businesses. Nearby attractions add even more appeal. Dangerfield State Park sits only minutes away and offers hiking trails, swimming opportunities, and scenic lake views. Lake O' the Pines, one of East Texas's most popular recreational lakes, is also within easy driving distance. Larger shopping centers can be found in Mount Pleasant, while Longview remains less than an hour away. In many ways, the location combines rural peace with reasonable access to modern conveniences. So why hasn't this property sold? Ironically, one of its greatest strengths may also be its biggest obstacle: distant. Most people moving to Texas focus their searches around Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, or rapidly growing suburban communities surrounding those cities. Very few buyers extend their search filters deep into the rural counties of Northeast Texas. As a result, listings like this often receive far less online exposure than comparable properties closer to metropolitan areas. Many potential buyers simply never see them. The asking price for this home is approximately $249,000. For a move-in-ready house on 10 acres with major upgrades already completed, some buyers may consider it a remarkable value. Yet, despite everything it offers, it continues waiting for someone willing to look beyond the usual search boundaries. And if you think privacy is valuable, the next property takes seclusion to another level entirely. Some rural homes sit near open fields. Others sit beside a few trees. This property practically disappears into the forest. Located in Upshur County near the community of Diana, the home occupies approximately 5.1 acres of heavily wooded land. Mature trees surround the property from nearly every direction, creating one of the most private settings featured anywhere in this countdown. From the road, many people might not even realize the house is there. The woods act as a natural barrier against noise, traffic, and neighboring activity. Deer, birds, and other wildlife frequently move through the property, giving the land a quiet, natural atmosphere that is becoming increasingly difficult to find. For buyers seeking true privacy, this may be one of the strongest candidates on the entire list. The home was built in 1981 and contains approximately 1,624 square feet of living space. Inside are 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms arranged around a practical floor plan designed for comfortable everyday living. One feature many homeowners appreciate is the separation between the primary bedroom and the secondary bedrooms. Rather than sharing a crowded hallway, the primary suite occupies its own section of the house, creating a greater sense of privacy for owners while allowing guests or family members to occupy the remaining bedrooms. The living room includes a fireplace that serves as the focal point of the space. Nearby, the home's layout supports both daily routines and occasional gatherings without feeling cramped. A particularly useful feature appears near the rear of the home. The spacious utility room includes substantial built-in storage and workspace. For some buyers, it may become a hobby room. Others may use it for crafts, woodworking projects, food preservation, gardening supplies, or home-based business activities. The flexibility of the space increases the property's overall functionality, far beyond what its square footage alone might suggest. The sellers have already completed several exterior improvements. Fresh paint has enhanced the home's appearance. The porch and steps have been redesigned, creating a more welcoming entrance. Updated flooring has also been installed in parts of the home. At the same time, the listing remains refreshingly honest. It openly acknowledges that additional work may still be needed. Rather than presenting the house as perfectly renovated, the sellers describe it as a property requiring a little TLC, tender loving care. For some buyers, that phrase signals opportunity. For others, it immediately becomes a warning. And that distinction helps explain why the home remains available. Today's housing market is increasingly dominated by buyers seeking move-in-ready properties. Many people prefer homes requiring little or no additional work after closing. As soon as they encounter words such as needs updating or requires TLC, they move on to the next listing. Yet homes needing modest improvements often provide the greatest long-term value because fewer buyers compete for them. Location adds another layer of appeal. Deanna is known for its highly regarded school district, one of the reasons families actively seek homes in the area. Local residents frequently cite the schools as a major advantage of living there. Despite the secluded setting, essential services remain close. Gilmer is approximately 15 minutes away in one direction. Longview, with its hospitals, shopping centers, restaurants, and major employers, is roughly 15 minutes away in the other. That means residents can enjoy a heavily wooded, private homestead without sacrificing access to everyday necessities. The combination sounds almost ideal. Privacy, good schools, usable acreage, reasonable access to larger towns. So why hasn't it sold? Because buyers often focus more on convenience than potential. A freshly renovated home attracts attention immediately. A home requiring effort tends to be overlooked. In today's market, even a few cosmetic projects can dramatically reduce buyer interest. As a result, this wooded retreat continues to sit quietly among the trees. The asking price is approximately $229,900. And despite everything it offers, it is still waiting for the right owner. But now the countdown takes a dramatic turn. The next property drops below the $200,000 mark and transports us nearly 500 miles west into a completely different version of Texas, where the landscapes become wider, the skies become bigger, and the opportunities become even harder to believe. At this point in our countdown, we're leaving the pine forests of East Texas behind and heading nearly 500 miles west. The scenery changes dramatically. Tall trees give way to wide open plains. Dense forests are replaced by expansive horizon, and the sky suddenly feels enormous. Welcome to the South Plains of Texas. Just outside Lubbock sits a country property that offers something becoming increasingly rare in modern America: freedom to actually use your land. The property includes approximately 10.04 acres and comes with minimal deed restrictions. For many rural buyers, that detail is every bit as important as the house itself. Restrictions can often limit livestock, agricultural projects, workshops, additional buildings, or other uses owners may want for their property. Here, much of that flexibility remains intact. Horses are allowed. Large animals are permitted. The acreage can function as actual land rather than simply decorative open space. And if 10 acres somehow isn't enough, there's even more available. According to the listing, the seller also owns an additional 10 adjoining acres that may be purchased separately, potentially expanding the property to roughly 20 acres. The house itself was built in 1975 and provides approximately 2,124 square feet of living space. Inside, 3 oversized bedrooms occupy the main floor, while an additional upstairs bonus room could easily serve as a 4th bedroom, office, game room, or guest suite. The central living area offers plenty of room for family gatherings, while the kitchen provides one of the largest cooking spaces we've seen so far in this countdown. With built-in storage and more than 200 square feet dedicated to kitchen space alone, the layout creates opportunities for significant customization. But one of the home's most unusual features lies beneath the main floor: a basement. In many parts of the United States, basements are common. In Texas, however, they are surprisingly rare. This property includes approximately 817 square feet of unfinished basement space. That area could become a storm shelter, workshop, hobby room, storage area, home gym, or entirely separate living space. For buyers familiar with Texas construction, finding a basement can feel almost like discovering a hidden bonus property. Outside, another major feature awaits. A detached workshop measuring approximately 1,036 square feet sits on the land. With 2 garage doors and substantial interior space, the structure could accommodate vehicle projects, equipment storage, woodworking, agricultural operations, or countless other uses. For entrepreneurs, hobbyists, mechanics, or homesteaders, the workshop alone could justify serious consideration. The home is intentionally priced with future updates in mind. Rather than paying a premium for someone else's renovation choices, buyers have the opportunity to personalize finishes, flooring, paint, and cosmetic details according to their own preferences. Unlike many rural properties on this list, this one is not particularly isolated. The western edge of Lubbock is only minutes away. Often referred to as the hub city of the South Plains, Lubbock has a population of approximately 266,000 people and serves as the economic, educational, and healthcare center of the region. Residents have access to hospitals, universities, shopping districts, cultural attractions, live music, local wineries, and a growing business community. That means buyers can enjoy country living without sacrificing the conveniences typically associated with larger cities. Of course, every location has trade-offs. Lubbock's overall crime statistics are often cited as higher than national averages, though much of that activity is concentrated within specific urban areas. This property sits outside the city on open acreage, creating a very different living environment from neighborhoods closer to downtown. So why has this property remained unsold? The answer is surprisingly simple: attention. When people relocate to Texas, they overwhelmingly focus on Austin, Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. Relatively few newcomers look toward West Texas. As a result, properties around Lubbock receive far fewer views, fewer inquiries, and fewer offers than comparable homes near the state's most heavily marketed metropolitan areas. The house may not be overlooked because of any major flaw. It may simply be located outside the path of Texas's migration boom. The asking price is approximately $195,000 for over 10 acres, a large workshop, a basement, and proximity to a city of more than 250,000 residents. Some buyers may see remarkable value, yet it still waits. And now we're heading back east again for one of the biggest homes featured anywhere on this list. As we move into the top 5, the numbers become increasingly difficult to ignore. This next property sits north of Houston in the pine-covered landscape of San Jacinto County and immediately stands out for one reason: size. With approximately 2,844 square feet of living space, it is the largest completed home we've encountered so far in the countdown. Even more surprising is the price. For a property of this size on multiple acres, many buyers would expect a much higher number attached to the listing. The home sits on approximately 6.29 acres, surrounded by mature pine trees that provide shade, privacy, and a distinctly East Texas atmosphere. A welcoming front porch creates an inviting first impression before visitors even step through the front door. Inside, the house unfolds into a series of spacious living areas. The primary family room offers enough space for gatherings, holidays, and everyday living. Additional rooms provide flexibility that many modern homes lack. One space could become a media room. Another could function as a library. A third could serve as a hobby room, office, homeschool area, or guest retreat. The sheer amount of square footage allows owners to adapt the home to changing needs over time. 3 comfortable bedrooms receive plenty of natural light, while 2 bathrooms support daily living. The primary bathroom includes a double sink vanity and a dedicated makeup area, a feature not commonly found in rural homes at this price level. Practical advantages extends beyond aesthetics. The property utilizes 2 separate septic systems rather than one. While not particularly exciting to discuss, infrastructure like this can become important for larger households, future expansion plans, or long-term maintenance considerations. Outside, the acreage provides enough room for gardens, workshops, recreational activities, livestock projects, or simply enjoying the privacy of country living. Location plays a major role in the property's appeal. Unlike many rural homes that require long drives to reach major employment centers, Shepherd sits along the Highway 59 corridor. That connection changes everything. Houston is roughly an hour away, placing one of America's largest metropolitan economies within commuting distance for some residents. Livingston is only about 15 minutes north and provides shopping, restaurants, healthcare services, and access to Lake Livingston. Lake Livingston itself is one of Texas's largest reservoirs and attracts boating enthusiasts, anglers, campers, and vacationers throughout the year. Nature lovers also benefit from the nearby Sam Houston National Forest, which offers miles of hiking trails, camping opportunities, and outdoor recreation. The town of Shepherd covers most daily necessities including schools, fuel stations, groceries, and essential services. On paper, this property appears to combine the best of both worlds: country living, substantial acreage, nearly 3,000 square feet of living space, and convenient access to Houston. So why hasn't it sold? The answer has little to do with the house itself. Instead, it comes down to a growing expense many buyers underestimate until they request a quote: insurance. Across portions of Southeast Texas, insurance premiums have risen significantly in recent years. Exposure to hurricanes, severe weather events, flooding concerns, and increasing replacement costs have all contributed to higher premiums. Many prospective buyers discover they can comfortably afford the mortgage payment. Then they see the insurance estimate. Suddenly, the monthly budget changes dramatically. In some cases, the insurance costs become large enough to discourage a purchase altogether. That's the challenge facing this property. The house may represent excellent value. The land may be attractive. The location may be convenient, but the ongoing ownership costs create hesitation. The access is approximately $159,000. For nearly 2,844 square feet and more than 6 acres of Texas countryside, that's a figure many buyers would never expect. Yet despite the size and location, the property remains available. And now we move deeper into the countdown, where prices fall even further, and the market realities become even more surprising. The next property offers 4 bedrooms, 5 acres, and major infrastructure upgrades already completed, all for a price that would barely purchase a small apartment in many parts of America. As we enter the final stretch of our countdown, we arrive in a place that perfectly illustrates one of the biggest themes behind this entire video. Sometimes a property isn't cheap because there's something wrong with it. Sometimes it's cheap because fewer people are left to buy it. Welcome to Crosbyton, a small farming community located about 40 minutes east of Lubbock in the wide-open landscape of West Texas. Here, surrounded by cotton fields and endless skies, sits a 2-story farmhouse built in 1950 on approximately 5 acres of land. At first glance, the home may not seem extraordinary, but a closer look reveals something many buyers specifically search for: 4 bedrooms. This is the first property on our countdown to offer a true 4-bedroom layout without requiring major conversions or creative interpretations of bonus rooms. For larger families, multi-generational households, or buyers who simply need additional flexibility, that extra bedroom can make a significant difference. The home's layout is practical and efficient. The primary living areas occupy the main floor, while the upper level provides additional rooms that can function as bedrooms, hobby spaces, offices, or guest accommodations. In total, the home offers approximately 1,385 square feet of living space. While not the largest property we've seen, it delivers functionality where it matters most. And perhaps more importantly, many of the expensive maintenance items have already been addressed. A new water heater was installed in 2022. An entirely new sewer line was completed in 2024. Anyone who has ever faced a major sewer replacement knows how costly that project can become. In many cases, such repairs can easily reach thousands of dollars and create significant disruption. Here, that burden has already been removed from the next owner's to-do list. The exterior electrical box has also been updated, reducing another potential concern for future buyers. Outside, the 5-acre parcel provides abundant space for projects, livestock, gardens, equipment storage, or future expansion. A storage building equipped with electricity already exists on the property, creating opportunities for workshops, hobbies, business activities, or equipment maintenance. The annual property tax is reported at approximately $1,263. For a property with 5 acres and 4 bedrooms, many buyers may consider that relatively manageable. Crosbyton itself is a small agricultural community with fewer than 1,100 residents. Life here moves at a different pace. The town includes the essentials: schools, healthcare services, local businesses, restaurants, and grocery shopping. Residents also enjoy convenient access to Highway 82, which provides a direct route into Lubbock. For outdoor enthusiasts, White River Lake offers fishing and recreational opportunities nearby, while the scenic Caprock region provides dramatic canyon views that many visitors never expect to find in this part of Texas. So why does a 4-bedroom home on 5 acres remain unsold? The answer has less to do with the house and more to do with demographics. Like many rural farming communities across America, Crosbyton has experienced population decline over the years. As farms consolidated and younger generations moved toward larger cities, the local buyer pool gradually shrank. The result is a simple economic reality. Even attractive homes can struggle to find buyers when fewer people are actively searching in the area. In a fast-growing suburb, a property like this might attract multiple offers within days. Here, it waits, not because it lacks value, but because there are fewer potential buyers competing for it. The asking price is approximately $138,500. For 4 bedrooms, 5 acres, and major infrastructure upgrades already completed, that figure may surprise many viewers. Yet the property remains available. And now we're heading east again, for one of the most unique homes featured anywhere on this list. A property whose story began not as a farmhouse, but as a church. Every old house has a history. Some have stories. This one has an entire past life. Deep in the forests of East Texas, near the town of Jasper, stands one of the most fascinating properties in today's countdown. What makes it special isn't simply its size. It's where the house came from. According to the listing, portions of the home were constructed using reclaimed lumber salvaged from the historic St. Mary's Church in Port Arthur. Long before these materials became part of a farmhouse, they formed part of a sanctuary. That heritage gives the structure a character impossible to reproduce through modern construction. You can see it in the proportions. You can feel it in the craftsmanship. And you notice it immediately in the unusually high ceilings and distinctive architectural details that separate this property from nearly everything else we've covered. The house contains approximately 2,912 square feet of living space, making it the largest home on the entire list. Inside are 4 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. But the real surprise comes from the bedroom arrangement. The home features 2 primary suites. That setup opens the door to a wide variety of living situations: multi-generational households, extended family visits, long-term guests, even buyers seeking private quarters for aging parents or adult children. Few homes at this price level provide that level of flexibility. The central living area flows naturally into the kitchen, creating an open concept layout that feels both spacious and welcoming. A wood-burning fireplace anchors the living room, while large windows allow natural light to fill the interior throughout the day. Ceiling fans help maintain comfort during the hot East Texas summers. Outside, expansive covered porches stretch across both the front and rear of the home. These outdoor spaces significantly expand the usable living area and create ideal locations for entertaining, relaxing, or simply enjoying the surrounding landscape. One particularly important upgrade has already been completed. In October 2025, a brand new aerobic septic system was installed. For rural homeowners, septic replacement can be one of the most expensive infrastructure projects they will ever encounter. Having that work already completed removes a major financial uncertainty for future buyers. But honesty is important. This property is not being marketed as a fully finished luxury home. It is a project. The structure is impressive. The acreage is attractive. The septic system is new. Yet portions of the property still require restoration and finishing work. That reality creates both risk and opportunity. The next owner will need vision. However, that same unfinished potential helps keep the price dramatically lower than many comparable homes. The location adds another layer of appeal. The property sits on approximately 2 acres near rivers, lakes, and extensive forest land. Outdoor recreation opportunities are abundant. Fishing, boating, hiking, wildlife observation, and camping are all part of daily life in this region. Jasper itself has a population of roughly 400 residents and serves as an important hub for surrounding communities. Residents have access to schools, healthcare facilities, shopping, restaurants, and essential services. Sam Rayburn Reservoir, the largest lake entirely within Texas, lies nearby and attracts visitors from across the state. On paper, the property offers enormous potential. The largest home on the list, a unique historical story, multiple primary suites, new septic infrastructure, and access to some of East Texas's most beautiful outdoor recreation areas. So why hasn't someone purchased it? Distance, more specifically, distance from major employment centers. Large renovation projects often attract investors, contractors, and ambitious homeowners willing to take on significant work. But most of those buyers prefer projects located close to where they live and work. Jasper sits well outside the orbit of Houston, Dallas, and other major economic centers. That limits the number of people willing to commit both time and resources to a restoration project. As a result, a home with tremendous character continues waiting for the right buyer to discover it. The asking price is approximately $129,999. And despite everything it offers, it remains unsold. But the next property may be the most surprising value yet, because our countdown is finally dropping below the $100,000 mark. And what comes next includes more than 5 acres of land located right inside a small Texas town. We've officially crossed below the $100,000 threshold. And this is where the numbers start feeling almost impossible. Our next stop takes us to Combs Nail, a small town hidden deep within the forests of Tyler County in East Texas. Here sits a farmhouse originally built in 1930, resting on approximately 5.33 acres of land. At first glance, the property appears to offer a combination that rarely exists anymore: significant acreage, a location inside town limits, and a price below 6 figures. That combination alone immediately separates it from most rural properties. Typically, buyers searching for acreage must travel well outside city or town boundaries. That often means relying on wells, septic systems, lengthy driveways, and greater distances from everyday services. This property offers something different. While still providing more than 5 acres of land, it benefits from municipal utilities and convenient access to local amenities. For many buyers, that balance can be extremely attractive. The home itself contains approximately 700 square feet of living space. Large windows allow natural light to enter throughout the day, creating a bright interior that highlights the home's historic character. An oversized living room serves as the central gathering space, while the kitchen provides ample room for modernization and customization. The house includes 3 bedrooms and 1.5 bathrooms. Although the structure clearly shows its age, many of the details that make older homes appealing remain intact. The proportions feel generous, the design reflects a different era of construction, and the overall character is difficult to replicate in newer developments. However, complete honesty is necessary. This property is being sold as is. It is a true fixer-upper. The listing makes no attempt to hide that reality. Anyone purchasing the property should expect renovation work. Some buyers will immediately lose interest when they hear those words. Others will see opportunity. Because while renovations require time, effort, and money, they also allow owners to restore a property according to their own vision, rather than paying a premium for someone else's design choices. The land itself may be one of the property's greatest strengths. More than 5 acres within town limits creates possibilities rarely available in today's housing market. There is room for gardens, space for workshops, potential for recreational use, and enough acreage to provide a genuine sense of privacy despite being close to community services. Colmesnail is a small town with a population of roughly 600 residents. Life moves quietly here. The community maintains its own school district and provides essential local services. For additional shopping, dining, and healthcare needs, residents can travel to nearby Woodville, located approximately 15 minutes away. Lake Tejas, a popular spring-fed recreational lake, sits nearby and provides opportunities for swimming, fishing, and outdoor recreation. Healthcare facilities in Jasper are also within reasonable driving distance. So why hasn't this property sold? The answer lies in renovation economics. Professional investors and house flippers typically evaluate projects based on expected profit margins. When repair costs begin approaching the purchase price itself, many investors move on to easier opportunities. Meanwhile, families willing to restore a historic farmhouse for personal enjoyment often overlook small towns like Colmesnail entirely. As a result, the property sits in a strange middle ground. Too large a project for some buyers, too remote for others, and hidden from many who would genuinely appreciate it. The asking price is approximately $99,500. For more than 5 acres inside town limits, that's a number that would be difficult to imagine in many parts of America today. Yet it remains available. And now we've reached the final property, the cheapest home on this entire countdown, a property that may reveal more about today's housing market than any other home we've seen. Here it is, the most affordable property on today's list, and perhaps the most fascinating example of how the housing market can sometimes fail the very people it is supposed to help. Our final stop takes us to Bowie County in the far northeastern corner of Texas, near the borders of Arkansas and Oklahoma. Just outside the small town of DeKalb sits a 3-bedroom home on approximately 0.93 acres. At first glance, it may not seem remarkable, but the numbers tell a different story. The home offers approximately 522 square feet of living space. That makes it larger than several properties we've already discussed. Homes that cost 2, 3, or even 4 times more inside the 3 bedrooms provide comfortable proportions and practical functionality. The living area offers a solid foundation for renovation and modernization, while the overall layout creates numerous possibilities for future improvements. The listing openly describes the property as a renovation opportunity. It needs work. There is no attempt to disguise that fact. But unlike some major restoration projects, the house still presents a usable structure with significant potential for the right buyer. Outside, nearly a full acre of land surrounds the home. That may not sound impressive compared with some of the larger acreages on today's list, but it still provides enough space for gardens, workshops, outdoor recreation, livestock projects, or future expansion. The setting remains distinctly rural and peaceful. DeKalb itself is a small agricultural community offering schools, grocery stores, fuel stations, and everyday necessities. For larger shopping trips, New Boston is located nearby. Texarkana, with its hospitals, regional airport, retailers, and employment opportunities, sits roughly 30 minutes away. The area also provides access to Wright-Patman Lake, one of the region's premier fishing and recreational destinations. In many respects, the property offers exactly what countless first-time buyers claim they want: a detached home, a manageable amount of land, a rural setting. and a remarkably low purchase price. So why is nobody buying it? The answer may be one of the most revealing lessons in today's housing market. Financing, most people assume affordable homes should be easier to purchase. But in reality, extremely inexpensive homes often become surprisingly difficult to finance. Many lenders are reluctant to issue very small mortgage loans because the administrative costs remain largely the same, regardless of loan size. Processing a $50,000 loan requires much of the same paperwork as processing a $500,000 loan. As a result, some financial institutions simply avoid smaller mortgages altogether. This creates an unexpected problem. The people who most need affordable housing often rely on financing. Meanwhile, buyers with enough cash to purchase inexpensive property outright may seek searching in entirely different markets. The result is a gap. The house remains available, not because nobody wants it, but because the traditional financing system struggles to support transactions at this price level. The asking price is approximately $49,000, less than many new vehicles, less than the down payment required for homes in many major cities. And yet, it continues to wait for a buyer. Conclusion: 10 farmhouses, thousands of acres combined. Prices ranging from $300,000 all the way down to just $49,000. And not one of these properties is sitting vacant because it's a terrible home. Instead, each one reveals a different challenge shaping today's housing market. Some are located too far from major cities. Some require renovation work. Some face rising insurance costs. Others struggle with financing limitations or shrinking local populations. Yet together they tell a fascinating story. While much of America focuses on bidding wars, skyrocketing prices, and housing shortages, another reality exists beyond the suburbs. There are still places where ordinary people can own land. There are still homes with character, space, and potential. And there are still opportunities hidden far from the headlines. The question is whether buyers are willing to look beyond the locations everyone else is chasing. Thank you for spending time with us today. If you enjoyed this journey through some of Texas's most surprising real estate opportunities, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next exploration of affordable properties across America. And now we'd love to hear from you. Which of these 10 farmhouses would you choose, and why? Let us know in the comments below.